was an incredible honor. I actually cried.
It was in a Zoom staff meeting on a Monday morning. Fortunately, I had combed my hair that day.
Being named a Harvard hero was incredibly moving. I was incredibly touched and shocked.
It was just very nice.
Comes from my mom, actually. If you are humble enough, kind enough to everyone, doors will open. You don't need to do much. You just have to be yourself and be respectful of others. That's what she always did.
Only connect. E.M. Forster said, only connect. I think I live by that, whether it's with the students that I work with, whether it's with my colleagues. It's really that effort to really connect with another person.
You know, as we move through any challenges, that things can be accomplished as long as we stay focused and are positive.
So one of my first bosses at Harvard told me, just be you, make the change that we need to make, do your thing, and we'll be here to support you. And I've kind of tried to do that all along the way.
When I think of that, I think it would be the people that, for the most part, are really unrecognized. The ones that are there supporting us in the cafeterias, in the parking garages, the janitorial service, the ones that, behind the scenes, that we don't see a lot, but that do so much for all of us.
The funniest thing that ever happened to me at work involves Remy the cat. And my going home after wearing all black and trying to convince my family what the cat hair was. I tried to explain, and then I had to go to Remy's social media to prove what I was trying to tell them.
We were delivering a large event. It was a dinner event, and we were working with a client who at the very last minute, within an hour or two of the start of the event, decided they wanted to do assigned seating. So we did what we could, and we put together this Excel sheet and organized the seating by name and by table, and we quickly handed it off to the printer, started setting up the table tents, and realized that we had spelled tall bay instead of table. So we had to set up the event for everyone to select what tall bay they would sit at that evening. So while it wasn't our 100% perfection moment, it was certainly something that we chuckle about now when we look back.
Like everybody else, we had so many Zoom events. We had a student who was giving a nominated speaker presentation to all of their classmates. And as they were giving this amazing presentation, and their face was pinned in front of all of their colleagues and classmates and faculty, they were sitting in a desk where there were open windows in the back, and a porta potty happened to just be slowly floating behind him. And there was nothing we could do about it, and it was pretty funny for all of us watching, knowing it was kind of a perfect culminating end to that cohort and that year and that program that turned out to be pretty challenging for all of us.
Yeah, the funniest one definitely comes from during the pandemic when we were doing all of our research appointments remotely, and I was helping someone in a different time zone, and I kept hearing a sound and realized her partner was snoring right behind her.
During a home meet with Columbia, I slipped on a ledge and fell into the pool. And meanwhile, the Columbia assistant's pulling me out and get out of the water. Lo and behold, my old shoe is in the middle of the lane and a Columbia swimmer is swimming right at that shoe. And it felt like time stood still and everyone was just looking at the shoe, at the swimmer, at the shoe, at the swimmer. She hits the shoe with her head, looks up, and her coach just just go. When does that happen? Never. It never happens. Oh, there's so many.
It has to be the now Smith Center. It was the Holyoke Center when I first arrived. That was my first location on campus. And my desk was actually sitting inside of a closet. I always hold it near and dear to me. I'm a librarian. I can't choose any one of the libraries. It's like choosing a child. So instead, I'm going to choose the steps of Memorial Hall, facing into the yard, into Widener, and I'm with my colleagues having lunch. That's my favorite place at Harvard.
Right when you're like getting off of Sturrow Drive, turning onto North Harvard Street, you have the runners and the rowers, on the river, and you're just looking around at all of the history of Harvard, and you're like, this is absolutely gorgeous. I'm always like, I wish I could take a picture.